Manga-Waido.
My name is Masashi Kitano, 32 years old and single. My mother died when I was in middle school. Since then, I've been living with my father and brother, who's much older than me. When my brother graduated from high school, he went right to work and told us he was going to live in the company dorm. So after that, it was just me and my dad living together. I also went right to work after graduating from high school. My father was sad for several years following my mother's death, but he started feeling better, and since we were living together, he looked after me for the most part. Then, last year, my father was diagnosed with cancer and wasn't given long to live. You've got Mao with you, so you'll be alright. That makes me feel at ease, so I can go be with your mother. Don't say that! You're going to live a long time, father! When I told Mao, the girl I was engaged to, about this, she said, "We can get married anytime. You should stay close to your dad. She's pretty bright for being so young. I respect her a lot because she's so calm at times like this." I spoke with my boss as well, and told him about my father's diagnosis, and that I would need to be at the hospital a lot. He agreed, and said I wouldn't need to stay late. Damn, I don't have anything in the fridge to eat. That night, after I left the hospital and arrived at my train station, I realized that I hadn't bought anything to make dinner. The supermarket was on the other side of the station, and it would take too long to get there. So I decided to stop and eat something on the way home. That's when... this is a new place. I think I'll eat here. It was a nice little izakaya, so I went in. It had the atmosphere of a bar, a little reserved, but the bartender was nice and said I could have a seat at the counter. He gave me a menu, which had a nice selection of sake, and there was a good amount of food as well. I ordered a drink and some food to go along with it. I planned to just look through my smartphone while I was waiting. "Are you here by yourself?" A man greeted me. He was a handsome man with a good build. I didn't have any reason to say no, so I decided to talk to him. He said his name was Yamane, and that he had recently moved to the area. "When I drink at home, my wife complains of the smell, or that the TV is too loud. Makes me feel like I'm in the way." That's too bad. Do you come here a lot? No, I think I came here the first time a couple weeks ago. The food and the sake are good, so I've come a couple times since then. Yamane was 2 years younger than I was, and we went to the same high school, so we had a lot in common. After that, anytime we were at the bar, we always talked together. Masashi, you look like you are doing better. Well, recently, I've made a new friend at the bar by the station. He's a good guy and fun to talk with. That's good. After I pass, it will be good for you to have a friend like that. Hey, I told you to quit talking like that. Get better, and let's get you back home. Sure, let's do that. He was getting worse every time I saw him. I don't have much medical knowledge, but even I could tell he didn't have much longer. But I didn't want him to give up. I still wanted him to come home again. I spent my days going to the hospital and caring for my father, and on the way home, I would stop by the bar and talk with Yamane. Yamane knew my family situation and would always say, "That's hard to handle. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know." I thought he was a good person to say that. But then, one day at the bar, this happened. "Kitano, how'd you like to earn some money?" Money? The other day, I heard from a friend about an opportunity to make some money. It does require an investment, though. I'm not really interested in investing anything. But it's a good opportunity. Really, it is. I invested 2 million yen, and I got 3 million back. Here, look at this. See? Yeah. Yamane showed me his bank account on his smartphone. He had a smirk on his face. According to Yamane, his friend was good at investing. When he lets him invest his money, it gives back more and more. When he showed me his bank account that showed more money coming in, it swayed me a little towards investing. But a good thing has a dark side. If it doesn't work, I could lose everything. I won't be able to survive it. I won't even be able to marry Mao. Sorry, Yamane, I can't. Thanks for telling me about it, but I'm really not interested in it. I politely declined. But then Yamane got really mad. Didn't I tell you? I could double your money, and you still tell me no! Damn, I can't believe you! Fine, if I make money, there's no way I'm going to give you any! He then slammed his hand on the table and left the bar. It's too bad. I thought I had found a friend to drink with. I didn't think it would come to this. Oh well. But I don't like giving money to friends. To avoid Yamane, I changed the time that I went to the bar. The bartender also helped me out, and if Yamane was there, he would give me a heads up through the window, and I wouldn't open the door. With that help, I was able to avoid Yamane most of the time. But there were a couple of times I passed him on the street. He would always hold up his phone and show me his bank account. See? I've quadrupled my money. It's too bad you didn't join me when I asked you. It started to become annoying, and just when I thought I would stop going to the bar, it happened. One day, I got a call from the hospital. My father was getting worse. Father! 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 Wake up! My brother came home as well. Together, we kept calling out to him. Towards the end, he opened his eyes slightly and smiled. My father was dead. Father! He died much sooner than his prognosis. Both my brother and I were a little taken aback because of the suddenness of it. Because of that, it was Mao who took care of the funeral arrangements. My brother led the funeral, but it was Mao who did all the negotiations and led everyone through the process. I was so thankful she was there. But we couldn't let Mao do everything, so we did all the paperwork required after the funeral. While my father was still alive, we discussed the will, which made the paperwork much easier. My brother would receive the money my father had, and I would get the house and the land. Well, that's over. Yes, it is. I'll be back at Oban to visit him. Okay. I'll call you if anything comes up. Great. Do what you need to with the land. I talked with my brother, and we decided to tear down the house and clear the land. The house was built over 40 years ago and quite run down. It had started to leak when it rained because the roof had a hole in it. Besides, it was too big to live in alone.
Well, you could clear the land and turn it into a parking lot or rent it out. We can always live somewhere else.
As Mao had suggested, I decided to move in with her. 3 months later, and the land was cleared. We had a construction company come in and tear the house down. Then we began to look for a renter. But that was when the trouble started. Whose car is this? There was an unknown car parked in the land we had just cleared. I tried setting up cones to block the entrance, but to no avail. They were parking there every night, which really made me angry. So I set up cameras to see if I could spot the culprit. What? No way! It was Yamane! I hadn't been to the bar since my father died. I never thought I would see Yamane again, let alone under these conditions. Yamane always seemed to park his car there at the same time every day. So today, I waited there for him. Hey, Yamane! This is my land! You can't park here! Didn't you see the sign? It says, no parking! Yamane was surprised at first, but when he saw it was me, he started to chuckle and walked over to me. This is your place? Don't be so mad. This is close to the station. It's very convenient for me. It's not for me! Don't park here again! If you do, you'll have to pay a fine! Hey, don't be so mad. It's not like you don't know me, so it's okay, right? Even after that, Yamane kept parking there. I had gotten his contact information when he used to meet me at the bar, so I called him to complain. He said he was busy and would call me back later. It was to no avail. Then, just as I was thinking I would need to talk with the police, something happened. Hey! What's this? When I went to look at the place, there were 10 other cars parked there. I got mad and called him. Yamane answered in a sleepy voice. It seemed like he was overseas and it was the middle of the night. He got mad and yelled, "What time do you think it is? I'm overseas right now. Call me tomorrow." So I called him the next day and told him he would have to pay the fine when he got back. What? Fine, okay, I'll pay that. You see, I'm not like you. I'm rich. Okay, it's 10 million yen. What? That's what the sign says. 100,000 yen per car per day. Be sure you pay when you get back. Wait a minute. Yamane soon came home from his trip. It seems like he tried to move his car without being noticed, but apparently he wasn't able to move it. He was extremely mad when he called me. I knew he couldn't move his car without me knowing. How could he? There was a large truck blocking the exit. He couldn't move his car if he tried. I had asked Mao's father, who runs a trucking business, if he would park one of his biggest trucks to block the exit. What the hell? Move this! Yeah, asshole! Move it! Pay the 10 million yen fine, and I will. What? We're not paying that! Just move the damn truck! While we were arguing about that, Mao's father, who I had contacted, came with his friends. With a 6'3" guy with beady eyes and his tough-looking friends glaring down at him, Yamane stiffened up right away. Hey assholes, can't you read? The sign says 100,000 yen per car per day. You used someone else's land to park on without permission, so pay up! Mao's father popped his knuckles while he was yelling at them. He looked just like a yakuza. He really is a nice person though. Yamane and his friends started shaking when Mao's father started yelling. They all started stuttering apologies. Okay, we'll pay the fine, and we won't park here anymore. Just don't make us pay 10 million yen, please! Well, this sign was just put there to prevent people from parking here, and it really wasn't a legal claim. I accepted Yamane and his delinquent friend's apology, and decided to let them off for just 100,000 yen total. And I made them promise never to park there again. Thank you very much, sir. You really helped me out. It's nothing. Besides, we all need to go through something like that. Let me know if anything like that happens again. I'm happy to help. Thank you very much. Sometime later, I went to the bar again. I heard something interesting from a longtime patron there. Yamane and his friends got caught up in an investment scam and lost all their money. They fell into hard times and living a poor life. As if losing all his money wasn't enough, Yamane's wife found out about his mistress. Yamane got a divorce and had to take out a loan to pay off his alimony. Is that so? He's probably up north fishing for crabs. It didn't really matter what became of Yamane, but it did make me feel a little better. Later on, Mao and I got married and we were happy together. We were able to find a tenant for our land, and we went to my father's grave to tell him. I got along well with her father, a very nice man with a scary face. I stayed away from anyone like Yamane and lived in peace.